What's up, Dragon Brood? So today I'm here to talk about one of our favorite days on the channel, Gruul Day. So yeah, it's only been like 3 weeks since Ikoria has come out, but I have to tell you the standard environment has changed drastically in the matter of 3 weeks. I mean, the number of decks we've seen come and go, and how fast the King Garuda got knocked off his pedestal, then the Lura Sphere everybody had, and that's gone. Then it's these mono black Obosh decks, and those lasted a couple of days being the hotness. Now it's Yorion decks, it's been crazy. So the Gruul deck I've been playing has definitely had to make some changes, especially going into this season. There's a few things that stand out about it that I definitely want to share with everybody. And again, these are changes that I've made for best of 3, not something I would necessarily recommend for best of 1, though it's not bad for that. I'm just saying I think it's better for best of 3, the way we've built it up and the things we expect to see. But with that being said, let's take a look at the newest version. As usual, when we're talking about the decks, we want to let everybody know, go ahead and watch through the end of the video, because we will also talk about updates we're going to make. We'll play through a few games with the list, and then that way you'll get a better feel for why the cards are in here and any expected changes we may be making over the next couple of days, basically giving you a head start on the next version. Anyway, let's give it the rundown. So of course we're playing Pelt Collector. This is still the best 1-drop for the deck to be playing. I know I've seen some versions that want to play Fervent Champion, but the difference is the Fervent Champion is rarely bigger than a 1/1. At best, it's going to be a 2-power creature. This almost always gets up to a 3/3 and then some, and it can get trample, which is a big deal. It doesn't seem like a lot, but being able to get that extra 2 or 3 points of damage in some matches changes everything. Definitely the 1-drop of choice. We're down to just playing 3 Robber of the Rich. We've had some previous versions that played 4. This one only plays 3. Could play a 4th, honestly, over this one copy of Galea. Though we're playing the one Galea because sometimes it actually has been useful to be able to cycle the cards in our hand. And it's another haste creature. But again, if you have a preference of playing the Robber of the Rich, feel free. There's nothing wrong with that. Playing 4 Zertog Goblins. This is still probably my favorite 2-drop to play in most of my Gruul list, because if you notice, all of my 2-drops are haste creatures, which is definitely essential against a lot of these decks. And I like the fact that it's a 3/3. It lets you fight more in creature battles. It can definitely withstand some of the Cry of the Carnarium type removals, so that stuff is all very good. We're still playing 3 Scorching Dragonfire. And I want to say, recently it came up on my stream helping some people with Decklist, where some people wanted to play Fire Prophecy. And the problem with Fire Prophecy is that it doesn't hit Planeswalkers. This lets you hit Planeswalkers in addition to hitting creatures. And not only that, when you kill a creature, it removes it entirely. So if you can get your opponent to block with an Uro and then deal 3 damage to it, boom, you can kill it. If you want to get rid of Lurrus or something else that Lurrus may be returning that's a problem, you can get rid of that. It solves a lot of problems. This is right now, for my money, the best 2-mana burn spell that's available. Now, you can't hit opponents with it, and that's a big deal, but truthfully, it solves a lot of issues in other spots. Bonecrusher Giant, we're playing 3. I know some Gruul lists play 4. My problem is this card is actually not that good when played against the slower control decks, the Yorion decks. It's just 2 damage is okay, but the problem is it's a 3 toughness defender, which means if you're playing against something like Fires, they're going to be playing a 3 damage sweeper, so it's going to die to that anyway. You don't often have the mana necessarily to play both sides of it in one turn, which is 5 mana. And it doesn't necessarily hold up in combat sometimes. So the card's not bad, but you want it more in other creature-oriented scenarios. You don't want to get rid of it out of the deck because, again, being able to kill a Priest of Forgotten Gods, a Lurrus, a ton of little things, totally fine for that. Gruul Spellbreaker. Any of you that are on this channel know that this is probably my favorite Gruul card of all time. Definitely going to be playing 4 of those. Try it however you want, but there ain't no way you're getting me to change my mind on that card. 2 Klothys, and this card has been very interesting to me. I actually had versions where I cut this initially, but that's when mono red was big, because you definitely want a blocker for your 3rd turn. You can't usually skip a turn off against that deck. However, as that deck's become less popular, The other abilities from Klothys have been very good, because against the control matchups, you can remove stuff from the graveyard so they can't get things back with Elspeth Conquers Death. You can, in the few cases where they're playing stuff that they can just cast out of their graveyard and get rid of that. The life gain has been good when you create a stalemate. And then there's a lot of times in this version that we do turn Klothys into an actual creature. So very, very good all-around card in this deck. I wish I could play a third copy, but unfortunately when you draw 2 Klothys, it's just really, really bad. Playing 3 Gem Razors. This is again because of the Yorion decks are playing so many enchantments. And if you can kill their enchantments, they have less things to flash out of play and back into play. So if they can't blink things, then Yorion just becomes a 4 or 5 flyer, which you can deal with in a lot of ways. One of the ways is actually putting Gem Razor on one of your other Riot creatures with a +1/+1 counter, or on a Pelt Collector that already has 2 or 3 counters. Like, then you're getting a 5/5, 6/6, 7/7, and that lets you continue to fight, and it's going to have trample. So that's another good thing about this that you have to consider. Don't always look at it as though you need to be removing an artifact or an enchantment. Sometimes you're playing it strictly just to make a bigger creature than your opponent has on defense. Questing Beast, not a lot to really talk about. Now this is the biggest change in the deck. We're playing for a full playset of Ceratop's main deck. This also means this version no longer has things like the new Vivian, which y'all know I am in love with the new Vivian, Monsters Advocate, but the truth is, this is the card you want right now. Like, you have so many decks that are trying to play more spell counters, so this makes those irrelevant. It can't be bounced by Teferi, can't be blocked by Yorion, can't be blocked by Garuda. I mean, there's so many, once it's in play, they can't hit it with an Aether Gust, so they can't use that trick. I mean, there's just so many things this card does right now. And it's just so good. And it still can have haste, and it can still have trample. I've even used the ability to let it block flyers, because people forget you can give it reach. That's part of the words on the text. So there's a lot of things going on here. Really, really, really good just in general. Highly, highly, highly recommend considering it. It's allowed me to win more matches just for holding one of these late in the game. Let them deal with 4 or 5 other threats, get the opponent to like 6 or 8, and then just play a Ceratops and attack twice. It also creates scenarios where if they do have something like an Elspeth Conquers Death or whatnot, they almost have to use it on the Ceratops. Or if they have a sweeper, they have to use it when the Ceratops is on board. So you can kind of dictate when your opponents get to play certain cards, and then the following turn, play like one of your haste creatures and a Gruul Spellbreaker and just attack for the win, right? So there's a few different tricks in there you can come up with just because this card exists in your list. And then we're down to just playing 2 Embercleaves. And I know Gruul decks like to play 3 or 4 copies, but truthfully, we're winning so few games with Embercleave at this point. It's still a good card, and when you get to cast it, sure, you come over the top and it's awesome. But there are a lot of scenarios where you just don't have more than 1 or 2 creatures. There's a lot of times they're still playing Aether Gust or Neutralize or any of these other spell counters. So it gets harder to trick it into play. So sometimes you have to work for it a bit too much, and you don't want your game focused just on the Embercleave. The other issue too is that you don't want to get caught with 2 or 3 of these in your hand, because it creates ugly mulligan scenarios. So you're trying to avoid that as well by just playing 2 of them, because you almost don't want it in your opening hand unless you have a near perfect, like 3 land, 3 creatures you can cast over the first couple turns and an Embercleave. Which does happen sometimes, but that's not really what you're aiming for. The lands, not anything real tricky. We're playing 1 Castle Embereth, 6 Mountain, 9 Forest, and a full set of the multi-lands. And we're not actually playing any sack land, none of that stuff. Like, these are literally it. Like, the reason is, you had to make a decision. We don't want too many cards coming into play unusable on the early turns. And you kind of had to make a decision. It's either going to be Temple or what, and being able to scry the extra cards with the Temple is just too important. Like, getting to get the better option of your cards on top of your deck has turned out to be more useful than not, so this is the way I'm going. For now though, let's get into a couple of games and see how it plays. Alright, let's see what we can do here in this game. Opponent goes first. Alright, we'll keep this. Playing against Karuga, sure. We're going to play Temple turn 1 unless we pick up an untapped red source. We did not, though. No, that's fine. We're still going to stick with the plan. We need another land, but it probably needed to be an untapped source on that later turn. So let's see if we find one in the next couple turns. Well, game just decided we're going to draw all the temples. Is what it is. Yep, Neuro, sure. Alright, go ahead and put this down. Let us save us from an Uro later if the game ever gets to that point. Don't know if it will, the way things stand currently. And they're going to bounce it. Wouldn't be unreasonable. Nope, it's buried. I mean, I guess they could still bounce it.
Stand by and watch. Don't worry.
I mean, it's not going to change much, but it can. It is a totally legit thing you can do, opponents. Yeah, I'm going to leave that on top. Just to give us the opportunity to play, like, Pellet Collector, Questing Beast, you know, some combination of that, if we want to.
We will meet again.
I mean, at some point, the opponent's just going to start casting things, right? I mean, good news is we have double Questing Beast, so that's nice. That's a kind of an awkward 1-for-1 scenario there, but I guess the opponent really wanted that. Alright, well, seems good. Wonder what they're trying to protect, because I feel like there's some reason that they decided to just get rid of the Robber of the Rich Air. Either that or that's just a big mess pie. But our hand's pretty good, because even if they just sweep the board here with, I don't know, Storm's Wrath or something. Alright, top 5, put any of the permanents onto the battlefield, rest into your hand. Sure, what do we got? Alright, so Neuro gains you some life, but it will just go to the yard. So the card's sweet there, but the card itself doesn't really do much. We will get Neuro. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and play this, because that makes Clothis live. With haste. And then we're going to attack with the whole pile. This is why we like our haste creatures. And the opponent's taking 10 at the least. And we get to grow a Pellet Collector, so it's protected from any type of sweeper. We like that. If they all live, we get to bring Clothis back to life with a Questing Beast. Opponent can't really use a shock land if they have one, because Clothis puts them at 0 at that point. They're encouraged to play 2 creatures here, but even if they do, we have a Questing Beast. Alright, Cavalier, sure. I don't dispute this. And then just play Karuga? I mean, if so, that's it. I mean, they're at 1. They're going to die. Alright, so you're going to play Clarion, which will kill... Alright. Then what? Oh, you think I'm going to let you gain life here? That's cute. No. Yep. Alright. Okay. Against Silken. Fancy. Yeah, we're going to keep this. I don't know what this is going to turn into. We're on the draw, but we'll see. I mean, this is a little weird because we're playing a deck that's really designed for best of 3, and we're playing it in some best of 1, so we'll see. Mostly doing that because I know the games will be fast, as usual. And, oh, I thought we were on the draw. We're on the play. Okay, well, this is a little better then. But we get to play the games so people on video here can watch more games get played or get to see us play against a variety of decks. But yeah, let me know in the comments how y'all feel. Like, do you prefer having best of 1 matches? Would you rather there be best of 3? I feel like I want to keep attacking. I don't know why. I think that's our plan. I mean, it's probably, well, I mean, we can kill that because it's a enchantment. I was just debating if there's something, because they're playing that, is there something better? But it's possible that because they're also playing a bunch of best of 1s, they're losing a bunch to the mono blue spell counter decks or something, and they're just main decking some answers. That seems really viable. Oh man, they can play Viper and Ram through. That wouldn't have been that unreal of a scenario, sadly. I think we're just going to play this so we can set up an Embercleave next turn. Yeah, I think that's what we want to do. Alright, Kiora. I feel like we should be pretty good at it. We can't quite use Spellbreaker and Embercleave here because that would not leave 3 lands. It would only leave 2. So I'm just going to let them have the Kiora. And if they don't block, it's bad times for them. And if they don't block, it's lethal, actually. I mean, it's Xaxes if they don't block. Which is funny because I almost gave them the your go, but like, but fair enough. Okay, rolling into this, we will go ahead and keep. I mean, this hand's more than serviceable. Against Obosh Black, though, this is not great. I've done this a few times, sadly. Shifting Ceratop's not really the card we need in this particular matchup. I think the plan here is just going to be kill as many of their creatures as we can. Eventually try to get rid of stuff with Clothis, and then just sort of see where things stand after that. We'll block 1. Let them get it back, I guess. I mean, if they have another land, they could replay it. Sure, I'm game. This at least puts them in a little bit of a sequence where they may want to keep getting the Gutter Bones back. Oh, that's a good addition to this. Like, I hadn't seen that in this deck before. That does change things a little bit, believe it or not. That seems small, but that is a big thing. It's kind of awesome that we played Clothis here. This could have gotten a lot worse. Question is, do I save for Dragonfire? Yeah, or do this. Actually, I'm going to do this in case they have a removal card. I want to at least keep a reasonable number of blockers. And the Scorching Dragonfire just removes the Gutter Bones. Doesn't send it to the graveyard, which is nice. Mayhem Devil. Okay, well, we won't be using this first Scorching Dragonfire on a Gutter Bones. Oh, they had to claim the firstborn. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts a lot. I mean, we kind of have to do this, though. We're going to take 7 and go to 1. Oh, no, we'll go to 2. Yeah, we'll go to 1. Once that drain comes in. Alright. Get that. Gain a little bit. I mean, I guess we... I mean... Ugh, this is tough. Because they have a kill card, we just lose. If they don't, though... I mean, we could... Exile... Man, this feels so much more risky, but I think it's correct. Alright, Obosh on the table. We're going to get rid of Gutter Bones. Though, really, I probably should have Gutter Bones in the yard so I had more stuff to eat with Slothus, but this is fine. Actually, that could give us 5 mana, 6 mana. But we're only at 2. We just can't afford to. Oh, this is so rough. I mean, we have to do this to just not die, but if they have a kill card, we're just dead. I mean, this protects it from claim the firstborn at least, which is nice. But anything else, we just die. Okay, called him familiar. That's not damage, it's only life loss, so that doesn't kill us. The Scorpion could kill us, mind you. That could be a real problem. We do get to gain some life. Ooh, this is interesting, actually, because if we Embercleave, though we can do it as an instant, we would deal 6 first to kill Obosh, then we'd only take 2? Oh, that's tricky. We have to hope they don't have a kill card, but I think this is the one way we can get out of this. Okay, Gutter Bones matters not here. Come on, opponent, attack! Oh, they won't do it. They won't do it. Oh, man. Okay, well, I'm going to do this just to bring Flothus to life on our turn. Nothing else. Let's go to our graveyard. We already have 6 mana if we really want it, so let's go to my graveyard. We'll remove this. Give ourselves some breathing room. Or actually, do I just want to play a 4/4? Maybe we don't even play the Bone Crusher as a dude. Though now if we attack, the opponent's incentivized to block, actually, right? I'm just going to play it as is. And then we'll wait. So it's 2, 4, 5, 6. Klothys isn't alive yet. If we attack, the opponent could technically block with the Scorpion. We would take 4, go to 3. They would take 10, go to 2. So we can wait one more turn. The good news is if they don't have a way to kill our creature with the Embercleave, yeah, Mayhem Devil doesn't matter here. I mean, because we'll just block Obosh first with First Strike, and then we'll block probably the cat. Scorpion would take 2, 3, 4. If we block like that. And nothing dies? Yeah. Go to 2. Yep. Oh, and we picked up a haste creature, so that would have been perfect. Handlebars. 07. Ooh, the opponent goes first with this hand, huh? Another Obosh deck. What do we do against that? I mean, I guess we keep. I mean, I don't really care to have Shifting Ceratops here, but it is what it is. That'll do. I mean, I still haven't figured out what the best plan is to beat these mono black Obosh decks. I seem to just kind of get into these weird attrition battles, and sometimes that's enough. I mean, I don't have a real good answer as far as total game plan. I don't know what they want to take. Probably a robber. Since I have so many lands, they don't know what's on top of our deck, obviously, and we do. But I would think if I'm the opponent's situation here, yeah, you just try to out-creature me and just take a robber. And then that card still stays hidden, so they don't really know what it is yet. And you can attack with the knight for free for 1 point if you like. Because I won't block it. I will actually block Gutter Bones, though. And if the opponent just wants to spend their turn, like, playing Gutter Bones and recasting it, we're fine with that. Okay, so they wanted to play something else here. Yeah, I'll take a chance to kill this. Seems great. I mean, Obosh is definitely coming down next turn. Rest assured of that. Oh, is it no Obosh? They may be thinking about just putting a spear on and attacking. Or maybe not. Maybe you put a spear on and don't attack and wait till you have Obosh. You can do double damage. I mean, that's totally reasonable too. But they have 2 other cards that are potentially live, so... I mean, if it's not a land for an Obosh, there's something that we don't like, I'm sure. Now that's interesting because they got to give us Death Touch. But the Haunted Nightmare does have Menace. And we're kind of just waiting for them to land Obosh and then we die, right? Opponent's really thinking this through. I mean, we don't have much choice here, though. I mean, we really have to draw another creature so we have the resources to double or triple block as necessary. Like, if not, we're just in a world of trouble. Unfortunately, we have to take down the thing with Menace first, much as we don't want to. Otherwise, when Obosh does come down, we'd just be insta-dead. That kind of helps. Sort of. Sort of wondering how we want to do this. If we give one of these... I mean, sitting it back to block isn't going to do anything, and they don't have haste creatures. We're going to block and trade anyway. If one of these lives, we get to block Obosh with it the following turn. Possibly still die, but... give us a chance to do something, I suppose. Because they'll be dealing 8. We'll block 4. Be it 7. We can save one of these to block an Obosh the following turn, who would be dealing 8 also, possibly dealing 10. So we kind of know where things are. That doesn't help greatly, does it? Wait, how are we still at 7? Oh, it's just if they deal damage. Oh. I was thinking something completely different for a second. Brain shorted out on me. Okay, so this is a bit different then. This changes things. Oh, that... Okay, we need another Scorching Dragonfire here. Or else we are just dead. I mean, we're dead anyway, really, because if they just equip up the Obosh attack, like, we could kill an Obosh, but then we don't have anything to kill the dinosaur. Yeah. Think we're done. I don't know if this helps or not. It does something. I'm not sure what. Really? Okay, I mean, the opponent's going to have a crap ton of life. I mean, it's going to take us forever to even try to overcome this. I mean, we may not be able to. With no sideboard this game, I don't think we're going to be able to do what we need to do, unfortunately. Alright. Extra Gutter Bone, sure. Alright. Not going to win that one. We get to go first. We're definitely going to keep this. Good old Divvy Dan. We'll see what Divvy Dan's got in store for us. More mono red, huh? Alright. Well, this is sort of what we expect in some of these single game situations, so not a huge surprise. The only question really is if we want to just play Clothis or not here. Okay, we actually don't mind that. When the opponent's doing that early on, we're totally okay with those exchanges. And remember, we can use Gem Razor to kill a Nax if it comes to that. Alright. Get 2 from the opponent, which we don't mind. Let's do this. Take no damage from our lands. 2, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, I was going to say Gem Razor doesn't help us there, but didn't really matter much. Man, I'm not going to lie. It feels good to play Gruul again on YouTube. So, yeah, if you hit me up on stream, I'm always on stream Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 9 p.m. to midnight. You can check me out on Twitch, and you can see me playing lots of Gruul over there, but I do play other things. But right now, start of the season, definitely knocking that out. What do I not like about the deck? I think we're still weak to stuff like the adventure decks, unfortunately. We're kind of a coin flip at best against the mono black Obosh list. You can change some of that if you're playing best of 3 and play more spot removal cards to kill their little creatures early and kind of play the attrition game. And that's one thing you can do. But based on the games we played, everything went kind of according to plan for the most part. So not a lot to complain about. Like, I really like how this version plays. There's a couple of spots if you're going to play best of 1 that having all of those Ceratops may not benefit you. So you may just want to play some other creature or go back to playing the Vivian Monsters Advocate that's in there. So that's something I might do. But in best of 3, I'd leave it the way it is. I think it plays pretty well. And like I said, on stream, we've been beating up the Yorion decks pretty good. I think we've, like I said, we're 6-3 or something like that, something in that range against them over the last 2 streams. So that's pretty good, especially seeing how hot the deck is. Now, again, that's probably going to change here as fast as Arena moves, but really big fan of the deck. If you like playing Gruul, this is probably the version to be playing right now. Rarely do I say that, like, this version, even when I like it, is the one, but this one I really do like. So you'll catch me playing it, that's for sure. It's still, I will say though, this version can be a little iffy in the mirror depending on what version the opponent's playing, because they're playing like Lovestruck Beast and all that stuff. Like, it can be a little bit of a fight and you can end up on the losing end of that. So be aware, if people start shifting over to Gruul, then maybe we need to make some other main deck changes. But as it is, had fun, deck's awesome. Hopefully I'll be able to play this up to Mythic this season. But if you like seeing these types of decks, please hit the like button, because that helps me out so more people get to see the videos and I get exposed to more people. And as usual, I have to ask, if you're not subscribed to the channel, why not? Please do so. Really need to get up there because we're trying to get the channel monetized as quick as possible. Your subscription helps do that. So please hit the sub button and hit the bell so you get notified anytime I have decks up. And again, if you all have any questions, thoughts, decks you want to see, cards you want to see me try in my Gruul list, let me know down in the comments, because I definitely want to try things that y'all want to see for sure, because that's the whole reason I'm doing this. But anyway, that's all we have for today. We'll see you next time.